from the biannual international congress the ARAHE is conducting. The celebration of the World Home Economics Day is also a good avenue for home economists to come together to share the goals and set by the United Nations. Let us now start our inaugural celebration by giving the virtual floor to our ARAHE President, Professor Miso Park from Korea for her opening and welcome remarks. Professor Park.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Park, presenter of ARAHE. I am very happy to welcome all of you here in celebration of World Home Economics Day of 2022. This is our first attempt to celebrate World Home Economics Day all together in Asia region in this manner, in virtual manner. It's been 3 years since COVID-19 pandemic situation have changed our real life, including daily lives. As we all know, our biennial Congress of ARAHE has been postponed until next year due to COVID pandemic. I hope you all can meet in Congress next year in Malaysia. Although the impact of pandemic has been really severe, we as home economists have contributed in making the influence of it endurable and manageable in various ways. Today, we are here to share our experiences and our contributions in coping with the difficulties in this hard situation with our profession, which fits with the theme of World Home Economics Day, building resilient homes and families. I'm sure this meeting will be really meaningful and fruitful. Before I close the opening, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation to all of the participants, especially speakers who share their country cases. I also like to express my great thanks to the Executive Committee members of ARAHE. Before that, I want to mention one more person who is really important, Surenya Kapong from Thai ARAHE Association, hosting WebEx for us. Without all of your effort and contributions, this inauguration of World Home Economics Day was not possibly happened. I hope all of you stay in good health and see you in ARAHE Congress next year. God bless you and your family. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President Professor Park, for your opening remarks. And let us now listen to the President of the International Federation for Home Economics, Professor Gwendolyn Yusbek, for some information about the 2022 World Home Economics Day celebration. Dr. Gwendolyn, please.
Since 1980, the International Federation for Economics, IFHE, has been Day. This international event is intended to publicize and promote the home economics profession. Home economists make to the quality of everyday life for people around the globe. Research institutions and educators from almost 70 countries who believe in individual choices to transform global societies. Household and through this contribute. Our profession spans multiple academic disciplines and values home as a place where equality reigns and everyone can develop. The theme for the 2022 World Home Economics Day is Building Resilient Homes and Families. Resiliency is the ability to bounce back from a crushing force. Our homes and the households that will not be resilient without planning of the forces, natural and human caused, that can overwhelm and crush them. In a speech to our 75th General Assembly held virtually in October of 2020, the United Nations emphasized that environmental, economic, technological, and biological risks and are emerging in ways that were not anticipated. And while the UN is focusing on recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic as it comes as an opportunity to build resilient systems that are a better place to prevent such crises in the future, home economists are focusing on how the pandemic has highlighted the centrality of home to protecting and supporting household members during a crisis. IVG has chosen the phrase "get back up" as our exhortation to home economists and their students, clients, and communities. Educating in the area of resource planning at the individual and household level has always been a strength of home economics as a discipline. And we can draw on the lessons of the pandemic, the experience of shortages at stores, the challenges in child and elder care, the disruption to finances, networks of support, and everyday life to inform our offerings going forward. Possessing an imaginative and detailed plan for coping with disaster with the crushing force is one outcome of home economics education that should be spread widely to every level of schools and the communities where we serve. Having backup, a network of support that extends beyond our household, that reimagines support in new ways, including virtual networks or the sharing economy, caches or pools of resources saved for distribution through groups large and small. We all have examples of challenges to our resilience. I know for me here in Texas, during our recent weather disaster that demonstrated the vulnerability of our electrical grid, I was pleased to discover that the backups that I had created in water stores and batteries were exactly what I needed to reduce the crush of cold, darkness, and broken piping. I am looking forward throughout the year to hearing how home economists and their students are fostering conversation and documentation of how building resilient homes and increasing the resilience of the household members within those homes can allow us to get back up from crushing events, from damaged infrastructure and global networks, as well as from the much more intimate and long-lasting impact of the death of friends and family members. Let's make sure to capture these lessons as we make plans for our 2022 World Home Economics Day celebration next March. Look to the IFEG website at ifeg.org for resources, webinars, and opportunities to share the resilient thinking of your region to the challenges of everyday life. Join IFEG in showcasing the talents and abilities of current and future home economists for building resilient homes and families.
Thank you, Dr. Gwenolyn. At this point, our ARAHE Vice President for Administration, the Vice President of the Philippines Home Economics, World Home Economics Day celebration. Mr. Rosarda, please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Joanna Su. Can you see my presentation? Okay. Yes. Dr. Miso Park, our current ARAHE president, Professor Kai Sasay, former president of ARAHE, to my fellow EC members of the Asian Regional Association for Home Economics, who are gathered here today, and of course, to my fellow home economists across the Asian region, Happy World Home Economics Day to all of you. The Asian Regional Association for Home Economics it is an affiliate of the International Federation for Home Economics. One of the major activities of the International Federation for Home Economics is to conduct a World Congress. And ARAHE, being an active member of IFHE, is one of the foremost attendees. The IFHE World Congress is being conducted every other 4 years. And the first IFHE World Congress was conducted in 1908 in the city of Switzerland in Pribag, which was attended by 750 delegates coming from 20 countries. The 24th IFHE World Congress will be held this coming September 4 to September 10, 2022 at Atlanta, Georgia. The World Congress are exciting opportunity to discuss the current global issues through research, best practices, and emerging global trends. Now, in the article published by IFHE in their website, they stated that since March 20, 1982, IFHE has continued to recognize March 20th of each year as World Home Economics Day. The purpose of this day is to publicize and promote IFHE and, of course, the home economics profession. As an affiliate of the International Federation for Home Economics, it is then but fitting and also the responsibility of ARAHE to adhere to the directives of its mother organization, which is the International Federation for Home Economics. For this purpose of serving as a bridge between the home economists in the Asian region and the ones in the other parts of the world. IFHE has identified various themes for the World Home Economics Day celebration. According to IFHE, this occasion has been a brilliant opportunity for each economist member and organizations to hold an event or special activity. Inasmuch as IFHE supports the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal of ensuring healthy lives and promote well-being at all ages, at all times, ARAHE, as an affiliate of IFHE, also supports the United Nations goal through the celebration of the World Home Economics Day. It is then why ARAHE is conducting this inaugural celebration of the World Home Economics Day. Again, in behalf of my fellow ARAHE members, thank you very much for joining us virtually in this very first celebration of the World Home Economics Day being conducted by ARAHE. To end, let me leave you with this African proverb, and I quote, "If you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, go together." So my dear fellow home economists, let us all go together so that we can go far. Again, happy World Home Economics Day to everyone, and I thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Albert. It will be interesting to know how our country, our neighboring countries at the Asia region is celebrating the World Home Economics Day. I'm now turning over this virtual floor to IFHE Vice President for Asia, Ms. Su Wei-Ling. Ms. Su Wei-Ling, please.
Hello and welcome everyone, the home economics in Asia. Greetings from Kuala Lumpur. I am Miss Su Wei-Ling, Malaysia. Thank you, Dr. Johanna Su, my ARAHE EC from Singapore, but we are not related. As we proceed to this joint event, celebrating WHED 2022 in Asia, we are very grateful for having 5 countries from Asia to share their presentation on WHED 2022. As we all know, every year on March 21st since 1982, IFHE has its yearly celebration with different themes. Hopefully, this year in Asia, we can highlight and promote home economics profession and celebrate contribution of home economics towards making the quality of everyday life for people. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very honored and great to introduce you all the presenters for this slot. Our first presenter from China is Professor Zhao Yuan. The second presenter from Japan will be Associate Professor Nao Nishihara. The third speaker from Philippines is Miss Christine B. Benzuela. The fourth speaker from Malaysia is Dr. Rashima Jamaluddin. And the fifth speaker from Thailand is Dr. Sarunya Pong. A big virtual clap to all our honorable presenters. Ladies and gentlemen, before I begin, let me remind the presenters that I will introduce each presenters according to the country, and each presenter will share their presentation within a 10 minutes allocation, because we have 5 countries that will take around an hour. So without further delay, I would like to introduce from China, we have Professor Zhao Yuan, who is currently the Dean of Jilin College in Nanjing and also the President of Jiangsu Association of Home Economics, JAHE. Without further delay, I call upon Professor Zhao to share her presentation, please. Professor Zhao.
Okay, thank you. Dear colleagues and friends of home economics, good morning. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce home economics activities by Jilin College and Jiangsu Associate of Home Economics in China. JAHE, founded in 1996, is the first home economic society in China. It also is affiliated with GC. We hold JAHE annual congress every year and 4 Jilin International Home Economics Summits since 2017. Many scholars, professors, and young professionals like to join these science forums from the whole of China. JAHE has been the organizational member of IFHE since 2016 and the organizational member of ARAHE since 2017. GC, founded in 1915, was the first women's university in China, providing bachelor's degrees to women. In 1940, the Department of Home Economics was established in GC and soon acquired high reputation. Many graduates has gone abroad to further their studies, making great contributions to the society. GC was rebuilt in 1987 in Nanjing Normal University. Since 1994, GC has opened weekend school of home economics to provide life skills training courses for residents of Nanjing City. Since 1996, the Research Center of Home Economics Education and Community Development has been established to carry out home economic education and research with the goal of promote the well-being of community. we GC and JAHE like to take part in home economics events of IFHE and ARAHE, and in close contact with IFHE and ARAHE. This is us attending IFHE International Congress of Home Economics in 2016. This is us attending ARAHE Biennial Congress in 2017. Our GC and JAHE invited 2 leaders of IFHE and 3 leaders of ARAHE attending Jingling Home Economics Summit 27 in Nanjing. In August 2019, Dr. Grundling visited Jingling and discussed many details about the IFHE annual meeting 2023 in Nanjing with GC. Recently, we compiled the guidebooks of home service for the National Vocational Qualification Test. We published Modern Home Economics, Women and Home Economics, and translated Plain Play and the Early Years, and so on. We established Home Economics Forum and organized activities for the community each year. In 2021, Home Economics was approved as a master's program in our university. In 2023, the International Congress of IFHE will be held in Jingling College. I'd like to extend my warmest welcome to you all. Look forward to meeting you in the most beautiful campus in the East next year. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Miss Su, you are muted, Miss Su.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Zhao, for sharing insight of the home economic education in your beautiful campus in Nanjing, China. GC, founded 1915, was the first woman university in China and has established home economics since 1940. Thank you. That's very great information from China. We go to our second speaker, that is Associate Professor Nao Nishihara. Assistant Professor Nishihara is from the Department of Education from the University of Sacred Heart, Tokyo. She is also an editor of the ARAHE journal, which ARAHE publishes twice to 3 times yearly. Without further ado, I call upon Associate Professor Nishihara to share her presentation, please.
Thank you for your introduction. Hello everyone, I'm Naoe Nishihara. I'm the editor in charge of Journal of ARAHE and member of International Exchange Committee of Japan Society of Home Economics. It's a great pleasure to see you all. I greatly appreciate the honor to give a celebration message today on the World Home Economics Day as a representative of Japanese members. Let's move on to the next slide. Now, we have 3 organization members from Japan: Japan Society of Home Economics, Japan Association of Home Economics Education, and the Association for Home Economics Education of Yokohama National University. Also, there are many individual members and student members of ARAHE from Japan. Next, please. Today, I would like to briefly talk about the importance of home economics through the COVID-19 situation in Japan. COVID-19 has been a worldwide experience. What kind of experience did you have with COVID-19? How much has it changed our daily lives? I've divided my talk into 3 parts. during this pandemic situation in Japan. First, school children's quality of meals worsened, especially in low-income households. Second, the slow progress of gender equality has been reviewed. And finally, the importance of basic skills and knowledge of daily life are increased. Let's look at the first part. Next, please. Thank you. I will show you some data on school children in Japan during the COVID-19 state of emergency. The Japanese government generally provides school lunches to most school children in their elementary and junior high years. However, in 2020, a state of emergency was declared to control the impact of the coronavirus, leading to temporary school closures in Japan. It resulted in a temporary suspension of the school lunch. The relationship between household income and the quality of meals for Japanese school children during the state of emergency was surveyed by questionnaire. Let's look at this picture. This figure shows the results of household income level as shown in the legend and prevalence of well-balanced dietary intake at least twice a day as shown on the vertical axis. Here, well-balanced dietary intake was defined as the intake of both meat, fish, or eggs, and vegetables. And under the state of emergency means the data during the temporary school closures to control the impact of COVID-19. The result shows school children's quality of meals worsened during the state of emergency, especially in low-income household indicated in blue, because school lunches were not provided. This data shows not only the importance of the school lunch systems, but also that the pandemic has affected the daily life of vulnerable groups in society more, such as poorer communities, and so on. Next, please. Next slide shows the slow progress of gender equality revealed by COVID-19 in Japan. This chart shows the increase in spousal violence consultations from financial year 2019 to 2020. The vertical axis shows the number of spousal violence consultations. Financial year 2019 means before pandemic shown in red, and financial year 2020 means during, not yet, it's okay, thank you. Financial year 2020 means during pandemic shown in blue. The total number of spousal violence increased by 60% compared to the pre-pandemic. Also, the same report shows that the number of female suicides has increased by over 900 cases. The causes of this are very complex, including worsening of employment and economy, increasing stress, and increasing hours of working from home. In any case, the potential social problems, such as gender inequality, have been made visible by the pandemic situation. Let's move on to the final part. Thank you. The importance of basic skills and knowledge of daily life, such as food, clothing, housing, indoor environment, family, consumers' behaviors, and so on. I can't see the slides. Thank you. Next, please. Thank you. For example, what is the mechanism of infection of COVID-19 in daily life? How can we keep the appropriate ventilation without compromising energy efficiency? How do we prepare for disasters? Which type of face mask is effective for prevention of infection? in daily life has been re-evaluated through the pandemic. Especially, reliable scientific knowledge is needed more than ever. Next, please. Thank you. Today, I focused on the changes of our daily life with coronavirus as a filter. As we all know, we are facing many other problems too, such as climate change, natural disaster, economic and political crisis, and so on. These global issues are very complex and need an interdisciplinary approach and global partnership. Next, please. As we can see, home economics is an integrated and practical science centering on everyday life and family life. It is important that individuals have basic life skills and knowledge, and this is mandatory to make a resilient society. Through the holistic approach of home economics, an individual's choices can grow and build a society that is sustainable. So, I believe our home economics research and education are very important. This brings us to our conclusion. Thank you. In conclusion, I'd like to mention 3 points. First, leave no one behind. This message is from the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and its SDGs. As mentioned, this pandemic situation has affected the daily life of vulnerable groups in society more and has revealed potential social problems. I think this message is very important for us because it illustrates the importance of providing equal education and opportunity for all. Second, I'd like to state the importance of home economics research and education for resilient society. On that note, my final point is about global partnership. Within our society, we should enhance global partnership of home economics professionals. In order to solve difficult problems like climate change, we must create more global partnerships like we are doing today. We are proud to be members of ARAHE and IFHE. Through today's celebration event of ARAHE for the World Home Economics Day, we believe that we can build a better spirit of mutual understanding and continuing cooperation and partnership. Next, please. So, congratulations to all again, and thank you very much.
Right. Thank you, Associate Professor Nishihara, for your great sharing. We hope we as home economists can play an important role in making homes more resilient and educating on aspects of personal and environmental issues. Home economics can play an important role to encounter sustainability on building a resilient homes and for families and home. And on her last note, she highlighted encouraging more articles to be sent for publication. So let's give her a warm virtual applause for Associate Professor Nishihara. Thank you very much. Right, we shall proceed to the next country of presentation. We have Philippines. Miss Venezuela is currently the Secretary of the Philippines Home Economic Association and currently a master teacher, one on detail from the Department of Education, Manila. So without further delay, we shall call Miss Venezuela for her presentation from Philippines. Please.
Dr. Niso Park, the current president of ARAHE, fellow home economists from across the ASEAN region who are joining us today virtually, Happy World Home Economics Day to all of you. I am Miss Christine B. Banzuela, PHEA Secretary, and I'm honored to share with you the celebration of the World Home Economics Day in the Philippines. The Philippine Home Economics Association was founded in 1948 by no other than Honorable former Senator Helena Soyla T. Benitez, and it is affiliated with the International Federation for Home Economics and a member of the ASEAN Regional Association for Home Economics. PHEA is a national organization of home economics teachers as well as its allied discipline, namely industrial arts, agri and information inspired by the founding president, Honorable Benitez. PHEA conducted its very first celebration of the World Home Economics Day in the Philippines in 2005, hosted by the Philippine Women's University. A decade after, during the PHEA's 2015 January board meeting, it was moved by Vice President Albert M. Rosarda that the World Home Economics Day celebration should be revived in response to the declaration of the International Federation for Home Economics. President Susana V. Hinea and the rest of the Board of Directors concurred with VP Rosarda, and preparations were undertaken. The World Home Economics Day celebration in 2015 was then held at the Dr. Alejandro Albert Elementary School through the kindness of their principal, Mr. Randy Emen, also a PHEA coordinator in the Division of Manila. Since then, the World Home Economics Day celebration has become one of the PHEA's major activities. In 2016, we celebrated the World Home Economics Day in Makati City Schools Division Office. In 2017, it was held at Valenzuela Math and Science High School in Valenzuela City. It was a very significant celebration because the World Home Economics Day primer was launched. In 2018, celebration was hosted by Nueva Ecija Division at San Isidro Central School at San Isidro, Nueva Ecija. In 2019, the World Home Economics Day celebration was held at Ren C. Giao Convention Center at San Fernando, Pampanga. Weeks before the scheduled celebration of World Home Economics Day in 2020, the national government declared a lockdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic. That's why the celebration was canceled. In 2021, a virtual celebration of the World Home Economics Day was held, and it was hosted by the Division of Quezon City. And just recently, the celebration of the World Home Economics Day was held virtually last March 18 to 19, 2022. It was hosted by the Division of the Gigan Pateros and was attended by almost 1,729 participants. Through the celebration of the World Home Economics Day, the Philippine Home Economics Association provides opportunities for teachers from both public and private schools to come and work together to uplift the status of the home economics education as well as its allied discipline. It is also a venue where teachers can showcase their skills, share best practices, ideas, as well as learning and teaching resources. Thank you, and we look forward to more successful celebrations of the World Home Economics Day. Mabuhay!
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Benzuela, for your great sharing. Philippines have been faithfully celebrating WHED nationally, and we hope we as ARAHE can continue to make this joint event yearly a reality. Let's give her a virtual applause to Philippines. Right, ladies and gentlemen, our fourth speaker, presenter is Dr. Rashima Jamaluddin. Dr. Rahima is currently a senior lecturer at the Department of Science and Technical Education, University Putra, Malaysia. She is actively involved with the innovation competition in teaching and learning. Currently, she is also the MAHE Assistant Secretary and has a YouTube channel under the name Dr. Rahima. So without further delay, I will call upon Dr. Rahima for her presentation for Malaysia. Rahima, please. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rahima, for your great sharing of WHED celebration in Malaysia for home economics in Malaysia. The short compilation is a greeting of different groups of home economics, from the students, from the teachers, from the executive committee of MAHE. We wish everyone World Home Economics Day. Let's give her a virtual applause for Malaysia. Last but not least, we have come to our fifth presenter from Thailand. She is Dr. Sarunya, currently the Dean of Home Economics, Faculty of Agriculture, Kasetsart University, Bangkok. Formerly President and also a Vice President of the Thai Home Economics Association under the royal patronage of Her Majesty the Queen. Without further delay, I call upon Dr. Sarunya to share her presentation, please.
เอาให้เราทำเอง Good morning, the President and the Board of Committee of Asian Regional Associations for Home Economics, the speaker presenting each country, and our distinguished guests joining the World Home Economics 2022 activity today. First of all, I would like to thank the Chairman of Asian Regional Association for Home Economics and all the committee members for organizing the activity and inviting me to give a presentation on behalf of Thailand. In the past 2 years, no one or no country has not been affected by the coronavirus epidemic situation. The situation has affected everybody around the world and has caused us to adjust our way of living and working to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and make the situation better. As we all know, even before the pandemic started, the Thai Home Economics Association, under the royal patronage of Her Majesty the Queen, or THEA, is a professional association of home economists, and our main task is being at the forefront to building up the network of home economists working in organizations at all educational levels, government sector, and private sector for the purpose of enhancing the sharing our professional knowledge and experience. Every year, our association will organize academic conference on topics of interest and in line with the world and country current situations. The conference allowed the participants to revise, update, and share their knowledge and experience with experts who have hands-on experience. Therefore, they can conduct their academic work and research and further their professional development and can be the main power in helping develop the and humanity by using the science of home economics, which will lead to happiness and good quality of life for all social units of Thailand. In 2019, the association helped prepare Thailand for the inevitable aging society by organizing a conference entitled The Elderly 4.0. The main focus of the conference was to provide guidelines for the elderly and have the capacity to depend on themselves and build a secure age society in Thailand in the digital era by supporting them to be able to earn an income through extra jobs so they can have good physical and mental health. In 2019, another conference was organized to discuss integration of home economics and technology to develop Thai wisdom, so the local community would be more secure and better able to follow the country development policies for sustainable growth. When the COVID-19 pandemic started, our association was no different than all other associations around the world. The Thai Home Economics Association, under the royal patronage of Her Majesty the Queen, changed the way to organize a conference to be online, and we then organized both the national and international conference to help the home economics lecturers in every educational level to be able to adjust themselves to the situation and perform their work well. The national conference entitled Teaching Home Economics in the New Normal Era received tremendous interest from many home economics lecturers. The topic of the conference conveyed the importance of home economics and human resources development, and also urged all home economists to realize the importance of sustainable development and the importance of sustainable development goals, which was the policy in developing all countries proposed by the United Nations. Later in the same year, an international conference entitled Human Resources Development for the Changing World was organized to focus on the development of human resources from work and research perspective in the United States, Japan, and Thailand, so that all lecturers and home economists could learn from the shared information in the conference. In this year, the association learned from the International Federation for Home Economics that the concept in driving and shopping home and family. And of course, Thai family members have close relationships among themselves. The children live with their family and are raised in the family until they are fully grow up, unlike many countries. From the COVID-19 pandemic situation that we are facing right now, we have no idea when we can live harmoniously with COVID-19 and whether we will face with other crises or not. Therefore, a good reason and prepare Thai society to handling the abrupt change and developing the skill need for coping with any crisis. From the COVID-19 situation, Thai families have adjusted themselves in their way of living and economic aspect. The teaching and learning has changed from the on-site to online at home. However, each family is not economically equal, so each of them might not have access to enough learning equipment and device. Therefore, each family must be flexible in prioritizing their budget and time so that members in the family who have less skills in using information technology device can learn effectively in this new learning environment. In Thai society, we have a belief that home is the first school for children and parents are of course the first teacher for children. This belief might be the common concept in all countries. The COVID-19 pandemic has made this belief become vivid and clear. Home and parents have to play a very important role in making the learning meet in the curriculum goals and raise up their children so they have the capability to coping with the disease and developing to be good human resources even with many obstacles by the COVID-19. One of the hardships for Thai society is the difference in economic status and the information technology skill of each family. So this issue might be one of the most important targets that the Thai government must solve urgently and wisely. However, in a crisis, there is still an opportunity. From my field study in the northeast and central of Thailand, I found that graduates who could not find a job in Bangkok or become unemployed during the COVID-19 go back to their hometown and create groups and effectively developed and improved local wisdom with their knowledge and potential. This action result in much creativity in the community and brought in a large amount of income to the community as well. On top of that, going back to their family and community cause happiness and secure mental health for them and the family. This important task clearly reveal that Thai home economies and home economists around the world must utilize their potential and be a mechanism in developing home and family to become flexible in handling every situation so the country can be developed securely and sustainably. Congratulations for the Home Economics Day. Let's be strong together, all home economists. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sarinya, for your great sharing of WHED in Thailand. Dr. Sarinya has highlighted the theme of the celebration, and she highlight three important issues. That is the personal and environmental health aspect, the sustainability of the housing stock, and the resiliency, homeless, and the housing insecure population. Thank you very much, Dr. Sarinya. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the sharing of celebrating WHED in Asia. Yes, it's indeed a wonderful sharing and great insight of home economics from our different presenters in Asia. I would like, on behalf of ARAHE, I would like to give a big applause to all your contribution and your awesome presentations. Big times up. Well done. Last but not least, I wish everyone happy World Home Economics Day to all of you. Thank you and terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Ms. Su Wing Leng. And also, thank you very much to the representatives that shared how the World Home Economics Day is being celebrated in their respective countries. At this point, I have the honor to present to you our keynote speaker here at the ARAHE's inaugural celebration of the World Home Economics Day. She gives lectures on food and consumer sciences at the National Institute of Education in Nanyang Technological University at Singapore. Her research interest includes understanding behaviors and attitudes of different segments of the population, especially in the understanding of societal resilience in the event of food shortage crisis among students, and in turn to provide pertinent information for curriculum design and community interventions. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow home economists from across the Asian region, let us have a virtual clap for our keynote speaker for our inaugural celebration of the World Home Economics Day, all the way from Singapore. Please welcome Dr. Joanna Su. Dr. Joanna Su, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for this opportunity to be sharing on our very first ARAHE World Home Economics Day. The title of my presentation today is Building Resilience at Home. I'm given about 15 minutes, so I'll try to keep it to my time. What is home? Home is the physical house where a person lives, but more importantly, it is where we grew up. As we grow, we spend most of our time or childhood either at home or at school. That essentially means this is the place, the channel where we instill the values and culture. And in this place, in this setting, we want them to build resilience. The IFHE and ARAHE advocate the importance of making our lives and homes better, quality lives through research and education. And in this uncertain time, how do we prepare ourselves at school and at home to be resilient to emerging challenges? I'll be discussing 3 challenges we are facing in this current time. First, crisis. Sudden natural or man-made disasters that rock our lives. Second is on aging population. And thirdly, on healthy functioning of families and homes. I'm sure our colleagues from the Philippines can associate with the hardship brought about by Typhoon Odette recently. This is a small church in Mambaling, and the roof was blown away. You can see the whole, literally the whole house collapsed. Picture on the right is the rebuilding after the typhoon. Properties are lost, lives are lost, and the problem is, are we prepared for it? Of course, we can all associate with COVID-19 pandemic, a crisis that hit us, hit the world for almost 3 years. And now we are coming to the tail end of it. And again, many of us are not prepared. I have shared in my other talk a while back, why we are not prepared. Is it that we are too complacent? Is it that we thought that we can handle any crisis? Unfortunately, this pandemic to us so that we are not ready. Next, I would like to share about the challenges of having a silver generation, in Singapore, the challenges of being an elderly in Singapore. At the 20th Congress in China, ARAHE Congress, 3 years back, I shared about the challenges that our silver generation are facing in Singapore. So first of all, we have this cost of living. So Singapore is a very small place, but we have a high standard of living. For elderly who has retired, they are able to sustain their lifestyle. Where do they get their income? As you can see, a report showed that many elderlies are only withdrawing less than 500 USD a month. So, but our expenses for an elderly is about $1,000. So where do they get their income from? Probably from savings or from contribution from their family members who are working. However, with an aging population, there are now fewer people in the workforce supporting a large group of elderly. So the elderly has to plan and be prepared for old age. You might say they can go and look for a job, but knowing, as you age, you might not have the stamina to work. And this is also hindered. They cannot speak English because the current society, most people speak English rather than their mother tongue. And when you have poor health, you will not be able to work effectively or efficiently. And not many people will want to hire a person who cannot perform at their job. So we know that high blood pressure, high cholesterol, cataract, joint pains, arthritis, these are very common. And diabetes, in among the elderly is pretty high. So we have to know that we have to take care of our health so that we can have better quality of life and also not increase our medical burdens and also burdens for our family, the one taking care of us, and so that we will have a better quality of life. Next, I will go on to talk about family functionality or dysfunctionality. We can all agree, a child growing up in a dysfunctional home where he is seeing a lot of fighting and abuses may end up with feelings of anxiety, hostility, and conflict. This is not good for individuals and have negative impact on the society at large. So how dysfunctional is our modern society? From this graph, you can see that, about 1.7 out of 1,000 marriages end up in divorce. In the US, the numbers are higher, about 2.7. It's like 50% of married couples are have divorced. You might notice that in some graph or some chart, they say that, the divorce rate has actually fallen over the years. Another phenomenon here, which is marriages are coming. Parents, the parenting over the years. This may be a concern and for us because with more broken marriages, sometimes they have detrimental effect on the children, right? And this is something that we have to work on. Family violence is another aspect, and it's very detrimental, definitely to young children. Have a guess, do you think that in Southeast Asia, are we higher or are we lower in terms of family violence?
Salita na lang kayo. Nag-seminar pa ako, magla-laptop ako.
Of family violence, lifetime intimate partner violence in Southeast Asia. This is not acceptable. We are, beside Africa, we are like one of the highest, in terms of family violence or partner violence, which I think this is something that we need to dwell on. As you know, that children who comes from dysfunctional home may have other forms of negative, personality that will be shown later part in life. It is very important. Values are something intangible, all right? We cannot just give them a value like a present, wrap in a ribbon and present it to our children, our students. It's often, we say that values are assumed, that we have it, we caught it somehow, we catch it by watching our seniors, looking at our elderlies. We catch it from even television shows, or now, of course, the internet, which is prevalent. However, are they the sound ones? Can we teach them the sound values? Do we have to teach them the sound values? Of course. I'm sure our subject, home economics, is the subject, we can instill values. A channel where we can teach our students and our children, not just how to organize their home, make it better, make it pretty, make it beautiful, but to also teach them how to be more livable in terms of in terms of emotion, livable in terms of a shelter that will be able to take care of our emotional needs, and also how to handle relationships between family members to make sure that we have a functioning, a healthy home to live in. This is taken from the Singapore Home Economics textbook in the 1980s and 1990s. We used to teach the 6 C's. So when I was in school, we were taught the 6 C's. The 6 C's: care and concern, commitment, cooperation, communication, companionship, and consideration. I'm sure you can all agree with me that these are very important values. Now, do you notice that something is missing in this picture? We have parents and children and even elderly members. Some of you may have guessed it right, the domestic helpers. In Singapore, many of our couples, husband and wife, are working and no one is at home to take care of the children or the elderly. So it is very common that we hire a domestic helper. When we hire domestic helpers, it comes with a set of problems, right? Especially when the domestic helpers are not trained, and we as employers, do we have the ability to train them, to instill in them the good values that we want them to, bring it out to our family members? So in this short presentation, I cannot dwell on each of these, issues in depth. But remember, our home and school connection. We as teachers represent the school, but we also have our own family and homes, right? So we have to set a good example at home in order to teach others, with personal conviction, the right values that we need. In Singapore, home economics no longer teach the 6 C's. I wish that it's still in our in our family and consumer education syllabus, but unfortunately it was taken out. But it was being transferred to a new curriculum, a complete one for both primary and secondary school, known as character and citizenship education. As mentioned earlier, and also shown in my research later, I'll show you that values will drive the right intention, and the right intention will drive the desired behavior. The core of this CCE, character and citizenship education, states that we want our people, or our future generation, to have self-awareness, self-management, to be responsible when they make decisions, and to know how to manage the relationship. This is where our 6 C's comes in. And also on top of that, have social awareness. As you can see, beside natural disaster, of the crisis of the COVID, human relationship, the the cruelty of it. Sometimes we say the cruelty of it. Why is there such cruelty? Is it because we have forgotten how to be socially aware? Is it that we have forgotten to be responsible for our actions, or do we not have the self-awareness and the self-management to control our behavior? In my research, I have studied on sustainable food consumption. When a person who has the right values and beliefs to do something, right, to want to buy something, they will more likely, or they will have a high likelihood that they will do it. They will more likely to buy it. And if they have more likelihood to buy it, they will actually put in more effort to buy. And this in turn will be translated, to a desired behavior or actual outcome. So beliefs and values is one of the significant predictors of a desired outcome. So if we apply this to our theme today, building resilience, if the person have the correct values and beliefs, they will more likely put in the effort to do that action, and we will get the desired outcome to build resiliencies. In conclusion, like the theme of the IFAG World Home Economics Day, we need to get back up. When life gives us a lemon, we need to make lemonade. So when we hit rock bottom, there's nowhere to go but to go. We need to tackle our current situation and just be prepared for future ones. I mentioned 3 key ones in the presentation today. Okay, sustainable consumption, future-proofing for aging, character and citizenship. We need to build the resilience. We need to have the resilience to build these areas and get ready, to bounce back and to make ourselves better than before. My late teacher, she always say this to me, in choir, for example, I'm in a choir, and she will say, anticipation is more potent than surprise. When we sing, we read the music, we don't let the music surprise us. We anticipate what is coming up, what will happen. So when we have anticipation, we anticipate, we will have more potency, we will have more power. We will not be shocked, by what jumps in front of us, because we are always prepared. So with this, I would like to remind us to be prepared, to get back up, and to prepare for future problems. And, we always have this saying, history repeats. Problems will always come, in big way or in small ways. But we have no problem if we are prepared. So with this, I would like to thank you for listening to my short presentation. Any questions, feel free to email me or put it in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Joanna Su. As I had mentioned a while ago, one of the major activity of the Asian Regional Association for Home Economics is conducting the biennial international congresses. So we are to set our 21st biennial international congress this coming August 2023. At this juncture, I am giving the virtual floor to the president of the Malaysian Association for Home Economics, Ms. Rosina Janot, to give us an update of the regarding upcoming event. Ms. Janot, please.
Greeting from Malaysian Association of Home Economic MAHE. I'm Rosina Jonet, MAHE President and Chairman of the 21st ARAHE Congress 2023. For your information, Malaysia has successfully bid the hosting of 21st ARAHE Congress.
Is that stuck, is it, Dr. Joanna?
Sorry, there's some technical error. Give me a minute.
I think our still in the WebEx, but maybe have some problem from the camera. Yes or no?
Yes, Miss Su Willing, can you please share Malaysia 21st Congress again from your side? Miss Su, will you be able to share the
Wait, I'm locating the file.
yeah. Sorry, technical error. Give us 1 more minute.
Yeah, I've shared it. Dr. Joanna, is it on the screen?
I think. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Who shared this slide? Who shares?
There's no voice.
This is the slide share from Albert.
Can you see
Professor,
the sound?
I think the slide on the screen that's from ชื่ออะไรวะ Albert, right?
The sound is not running, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the sound is not running. Give me 1 minute. I'm coming back up. I just need a minute. Let me get this up.
Okay.
Stop. You can stop share. I think I can share my screen. Albert, is it Albert who is sharing? Who is sharing the screen? Please stop sharing. I can share my screen again.
I think Albert have some problem about the signal.
Yes.
So he can move any slide from the screen right now.
Yes. So Albert, can you stop sharing? I will share my screen.
Mute này gì?
Okay, let me share my screen again.
So okay, you can share the screen.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
I'm so
Right.
sorry
Yes.
for the technical error.
Yes.
I'm back again.
Uh-huh.
Let's start again with Madam
No need to ask him stop because I think he has some problem about the signal. So you can share right now. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Can you hear?
I will call upon Rosina Junaid. She's around to continue on this slide regarding the coming ARAHE team. Are you there, Madam Rosina Junaid? Okay.
Boleh dengar ke?
You just
Okay.
Yeah, Miss Madam Rosina, maybe you just voice over.
Okay, I try. Okay. Okay, can I start now? Okay. Warm greeting from Malaysian Association of Home Economics, MAHE. I'm Rashima Jamaluddin, MAHE President and Chairman of the 30th ARAHE Congress 2023. For your information, Malaysia has successfully bid the hosting of 21st ARAHE Congress in Hangzhou, China in 2019. It was initially scheduled on the 2021, but had to be postponed to 2023 due to COVID-19 pandemic. I hereby would like to update some information regarding this Congress. The theme of the 21st ARAHE Biennial International Congress will be on August 7 to 11, 2023 in Kuala Lumpur. The theme is Integrating Cultures, Innovation and Home Economics toward Industrial Revolution. The sub-theme, one is Home Economic Curriculum, two is Health, Food and Nutrition, third, Clothing and Design, fourth, the elderly, household and daily life, fifth, consumer again. Fifth is consumers and sustainability development. Six, housing and environment and sustainability. Seven, government and public policies. Eight, information and technology for living. Nine is book from education. The 21st ARAHE Congress at a glance, we have opening and closing ceremony, keynote presentation. Can you start? Okay. Okay, let's see the next step is the first one is September the 1st, 2020 is opening for abstract submission. Okay. Early bird registration. Third, January 31st, 2023, closing for abstract submission. Fourth, February 28th, 2023, notification of acceptance. Fifth is June 20th, 2023, closing of registration. The last key date is the ARAHE Congress, August the 7th to 11, 2023. The Organizing Committee Association of Home Economic MAHE Congress Secretariat at arahe2023 at gmail.com. All announcements for the first Congress will be in ARAHE's website and the details are posted in MAHE website. Next one. I, on behalf of the 21st ARAHE Organizing Committee from Malaysia Association of Home Economics, MAHE, has the great honor to invite all home economists from Asia and related organizations to participate in this 21st ARAHE International Congress 2023 to share, develop, develop networking, having dialogue concerning the emerging trends of home economics, as well as to explore the global concern for individual families and households. All your family members are also welcome to visit our beloved, beautiful and multicultural country, Malaysia. Welcome to Malaysia. Selamat datang ke Malaysia. Thank you.
Pardon the interruption. We will now continue with the rest of the program. Sir Albert, please.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Yes, our dear participants, we are extending our invitation at the ARAHE's 21st Biennial International Congress, which will be held at Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, this coming August 2023. Okay, so mark your calendar right now. You can also visit our website at arahe.info for more information. Before we end this inaugural celebration of the World Home Economics Day, we remind our participants to please accomplish the evaluation form accurately. Your failure to accomplish the evaluation form will not allow us to send you your certificate. So please double check the information at the evaluation form before submitting it. We just want to inform everyone that today is the birth anniversary of Dr. Hafsa Mohammed Nawawi. Dr. Nawawi, she is one of the founding member of ARAHE. At this point, I am turning over the virtual floor to Ms. Su Wingle for the awarding of the posthumous Certificate of Recognition. Ms. Su Wingle, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, all ARAHE home economics in Asia and Malaysia particularly, today in conjunction with the WHED 2020 celebration in Asia, we would like to share a special tribute to our beloved Dr. Hafsa Mohammed Nawawi from Malaysia, who was born on 26 March 1941, the same day today that we are celebrating. She, a founding member of ARAHE and MAHE. Cherished memories remain close to our hearts, departed yet unforgotten. Dr. Hafsa Mohammed Nawawi, born 26 March 1941, departed 19 January 2019 at the age of 79 years old. So on behalf of ARAHE, I would like to present the posthumous certificate of recognition to Dr. Hafsa Mohammed Nawawi for her service in home economics profession and for acknowledging significant contribution as a founding member of this association and as an icon in home economics education. Presented to the family of Dr. Hafsa Mohammed Nawawi on this 26th day of March 2022 during the virtual inaugural celebration of the World Economics Day. Signed, Dr. Miso Park, ARAHE President. Signed, Mr. Albert M. Rosarda, ARAHE Vice President for Administration. So on behalf, after the function, we will present deliver this certificate to her family. Thank you very much for the appreciation on her birthday. Now, I would like to share some memories with her families. She is survived by 2 children, a daughter and a son, and she has 1 grandson. This is memories with her family. Next, as an ARAHE founding members, she is also the MAHE president. The next slide, please. This is memories with her family. Okay. In Malaysia, she is has been involved with lots of local home economics activities, and some of the activities that she has participated in Malaysia. She was also the founding members that started the Malaysian Association of Home Economics, MAHE. Right. This is some of the activities that she has contributed as a former president and an icon in a leader for home economics. The next slide, a short tribute to her from ARAHE. She is also the founding members for ARAHE, and some of the conferences that she attended in ARAHE, and she do visit some of the countries like Philippines and Brunei for her work in ARAHE. So with this, I on behalf would like to wish a happy birthday to our belated Dr. Hafsa. May she rest in peace. Amen. Thank you.
Okay, at this point, we are turning the floor to our Vice President for Publication, Professor Yukiko Kudo, for her closing remarks. Professor Kudo, please.
Dear colleagues and friends, I'm Yukiko Kudo, ARAHE Vice President for Publication. It's a great pleasure for me to provide you with closing remarks for this very successful ARAHE World Home Economics Day celebration. Today, we have listened a lot of presentations, reports, speeches from various countries. All have demonstrated the importance of home economics in building resilient homes and families. We see uniqueness of each region, and also we realized we have things in common. We could believe that the collaboration among Asian home economists is a great opportunity, has strong potential. We have received important messages from today's seminar. We have learned a lot. Let's bring back what we got today to our home, schools, and communities, and we'll keep learning and practicing, empowering ourselves, and maybe write papers to ARAHE Journal. In closing, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all presentators, ARAHE officers, and our webinar host today, Thai Home Economics Association, for taking your valuable time, generously share your knowledge and expertise. Also to the participants, thank you for your kindness, professionalism, and participation. Thank you so much and see you soon, definitely next year, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia Congress. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Kudo. We would like also to thank our Executive Committee member for Southeast Zone 1, Dr. Sarunya Pong of Thailand, for our technical team for today's event. To finally end our inaugural celebration, join us in the singing of the ARAHE song, and see you all at the virtual celebration of the World Home Economics Day 2023. This has been your host, Mr. Albert M. Rosarda from the Philippines.
And Johanna from Singapore. Thank you.